With world leaders at hand, President Biden eager to get back to business as usual.
Stronger supply chains, a stronger economy, stronger military, and a stronger nation.
And the White House wants to move on from speculation about the president's political future. But for Democrats, the domino effect continues. Actor George Clooney penning an op-ed in the New York Times calling on Biden to step aside, writing, "It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Effing Deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. Filmmaker Rob Reiner joining Clooney, writing on X, "Democracy is facing an existential threat. We need someone younger to fight back. Joe Biden must step aside." And House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi non-committal.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
And Colorado Senator Michael Bennet on CNN became the first Senate Democrat to break with Biden publicly. Bennet calling the state of the race very worrisome.
Donald Trump is on track, I think, to win this election and maybe win it by a landslide. And the White House, in the time since that disastrous debate, I think has done nothing to really demonstrate that they have a plan to win this election.
Since the debate, CNN's poll of polls shows Trump leading Biden by 5 points. The first time this year, the candidates are separated by a margin of more than 3 points. And some donors planning events in Chicago and Florida say they're now up in the air. But for Biden, it's full steam ahead for now.
That every NATO member is committed to doing their part to keep the alliance strong.
Kayla Tausche, CNN, the White House.
It began Tuesday night. Emergency services called to the house of a BBC horse racing commentator, John Hunt, after women's screams were heard coming from the home. Medics found Hunt's wife, Carol, and his 2 daughters, Louise, aged 25, and Hannah, 28, seriously injured. They'd been brutally attacked. The medics were unable to save the women, and a massive 24-hour manhunt began in search of their killer. CCTV video captured near the family's house appeared to show a man leaving the vicinity carrying an object tucked under his arm, covered in a white cloth. Police believe he may have been carrying a crossbow. Police tracked the 26-year-old suspect to a North London cemetery, 45 minutes drive away. Police say the suspect, Kyle Clifford, is a British military vet, and police believe he knew the victims. Police say when they captured Clifford, he was injured and taken away on a stretcher. This is where they brought him out of the cemetery on the stretcher into the street here, put him on an ambulance, took him to a nearby hospital. And for all the neighbours around here watching this, it was utterly shocking. The police believe it was a targeted incident, but aren't specifying how he knew the family, although he appears close in ages to Hunt's daughters. Nick Robertson, CNN, London.
This summer is on track to break records when it comes to tourism. But increasingly, it's the locals who need the break. In Barcelona, spraying holidaymakers with water to chase them away from cafes, posting fake warning signs on the beaches of Mallorca. Tired of being pushed out of city centers where rents have skyrocketed and prices have increased so much that residents no longer feel at home.
We come here to demonstrate against mass touristification here in Barcelona. The last years, the city has turned completely for tourists, and what we want is a city for citizens and not in service of tourists.
The sentiment is echoed in busy tourist havens like Venice, where authorities have taken drastic measures, charging an entrance fee to the city on busy weekends.
Here in Rome, tourists are important to the city's economy, but the price is often high. Visitors have caused damage to these famous Spanish steps, gone swimming in the historic fountains, and even carved their names in the ancient Roman Colosseum.
Over-tourism has spread to all corners of the world. In one Japanese city, locals have blocked the view to Mount Fuji to dissuade visitors. In Austria, blocking tourists from taking selfies. And in Amsterdam, cutting down on the city's famous river cruises to try to wrestle back control of the city. Many tourist cities clamping down on short-term rentals.
Unfortunately, they live with this conflict. Those who live in the historic centre complain because there is too much tourism. But if there is no tourism, there are no restaurants or hotels to offer work. Therefore, I believe they have to make peace.
As important as tourism is to many local economies, striking a balance for those who call these popular places home and those who want to enjoy them is an even bigger priority. Barbie Latzanedo, CNN, Rome.